Ladies and gentlemen, this event, one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Already in the ring from the Sudan at a weight of 492 pounds, Abdullah the Butcher. His opponent from Union, Illinois, at a weight of 350 pounds, Frank the Tank Melson. Your referee for this match, Ed Sharkey. One fall, a 30-minute time limit.
Oh my.
Good Lord.
Right off of that, Abdullah the Butcher taking the measure of Frank the Tank. We've got a battle of titans. Oh, Abdullah the Butcher, the Caribbean champion, takes that championship belt and cracks it over the head of Frank the Tank Melvin. Ringside and ready to go, wrestling fans. I'm Scott Thomas with Windy City Wrestling WCW action. At ringside joining me this week, Mick Karsh from KTMA TV 23, the host of Saturday Night at Ringside in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are at Chicago's International Amphitheater, and unbelievable action going on.
I'll tell you something, this Abdullah the Butcher is the most unpredictable wild man in professional wrestling. He is absolutely berserk, and I don't know how much more Frank the Tank is going to be able to stand here.
Frank the Tank Melvin. There's the bell. I think that's starting the action.
This Abdullah the Butcher is an absolute maniac.
They call him the Wild Man from the Sudan, and he is impervious to pain. He is impervious to heat. He never tires out. He is a one-man wrecking crew. He has broken open the forehead of Frank the Tank Melvin before this match even starts. Frank the Tank at 350, and look at the size of Abdullah the Butcher, nearly 500 pounds.
Look at this. He continues to use a foreign object on Frank the Tank.
It appears to me that from somewhere, Abdullah the Butcher has pulled out a fork. There, we can see it now.
What in the world is wrong with this man?
A table fork under the direction, I don't know if you can call it management. Who can manage this guy? But Tony Montana has come to ringside with him and is certainly taking credit for his machine, as he called him before. Abdullah the Butcher, living up to his name, taking a fork to Frank the Tank Melvin. And Abdullah now, does he still have it? I think he's tucked it back in. But that controversially taped right hand of Abdullah the Butcher finds its mark on Frank the Tank Melvin, a favorite here. Oh, man.
Frank the Tank has taken some punishment since he tried to climb into the ring and was hit with that 40 pounds of gold and that championship belt. There's that fork again.
And it looked like was it in the eye or the forehead?
Wherever it was, he is an animal.
Referee Ed Sharkey apparently not seeing it. It's in full view of us here at ringside. It is a table fork heavily wrapped with athletic tape, but the points are exposed.
Come on, Sharkey.
Frank the Tank, you can see, busted wide open.
Sharkey has got to see that fork. Come around this side, referee. Frank the Tank is in deep trouble.
Abdullah the Butcher, a massive human being, nearly 500 pounds, can shield that foreign object, and he tosses it to the side. And I'm sure you're going to see manager or escort or whatever, Tony Montana, pick it up. And now Abdullah the Butcher with a series of rights to the forehead right above us, and Frank the Tank is busted open.
This is absolute torture, Scott. There's no other way to describe it.
This is gruesome, and Frank the Tank is down. Before the match even started, Abdullah the Butcher took to the offensive with a Pearl Harbor job, and now a foreign object, and Frank the Tank is taking what for at the hands of Abdullah the Butcher, the wild man from the Sudan, and out goes Frank the Tank. Oh, my. 350 pounds down on the concrete. His back hit the ring apron. Mick, this is unbelievable.
This is not a wrestling match, Scott. This is a public mugging. There's no question about it. Abdullah the Butcher cannot be tamed or controlled by anyone. Nobody.
There's that fork again. It's in clear view. Good shot by our WCW camera crew.
Tony Montana distracting referee Eddie Sharkey.
And I don't want to watch.
Oh, come on. He is making hamburger out of Frank the Tank. Pure and simple. This is grotesque.
Frank the Tank Melson has taken on the best that WCW has to offer, but never. Oh, there. Right in plain view. Right in plain view.
Come on, Sharkey. Oh, no.
And he decks the ref.
Oh, come on, come on. Even Tony Montana can't control
take it.
Nope.
He's putting a leash on it.
Oh,
A leash
my
on
God.
the referee calling for the bell. He continues. Oh, my. And now Abdullah the Butcher turning on the escort of Tony Montana, turning on his own people.
Even his own man.
Leash. Oh, he's going to try to
Look
hang
at
him.
this. Oh, come on, come on. I can't. We can't watch this. Look at the face on Abdullah the Butcher. He's possessed.
He's crazy. They're going to have to call for security. They're going to have to do something.
Even the very diabolical Tony Montana has had enough of this.
Tony Montana trying to get him off. More wrestlers coming from the dressing room into the ring.
Oh, he's threatening everybody. Look at this.
Holding off everybody with a fork.
Look at this. You've got 4 wrestlers in there, afraid to make a move towards Abdullah.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, my God. Here goes a chair. I'm getting out of here.
Dream Team.
Holy man.
He's picking up crates. He's picking up crates of equipment, chairs, everything. Frank the Tank Melvin is a crimson mess in the middle of that ring. The Beach Boys are in there. The Windy City Dream Team, Stormy Apollo. Johnny Stewart from the Windy City Dream Team brings a chair of his own into the ring now. Look at the eyes. There's nobody home. The lights are on. There's nobody home. That man is
Frank the Tank.
Subhuman.
We've got to get some help in there for Frank the Tank. There's got to be some medical assistance. He took one of the most ferocious poundings in as short a period of time as I have ever seen.
Abdullah the Butcher, easily living up to his name as the world's most dangerous wrestler. But that's not wrestling, Mick.
No.
That's just carnage.
Look at this. He just hit. Did he hit a photographer?
He's nailed a photographer.
He's a madman.
And he's beating on a photographer now. We've got to get some security down here.
A helpless photographer just doing his job at ringside, and Abdullah choking the life out of a photographer. This is insanity, Scott.
Somebody's got to stop this man. Somebody's got to stop him. He continues to prowl ringside. Tony Montana trying to control it. He's supposed to be the man's manager. There's Abdullah the Butcher.
Look at the face on that man.
Promoter Sam DeCero trying to gain control. Tony Montana trying to control his man. Frank the Tank
Right
Melvin.
behind us, and I'm getting very nervous. Scott, the powers that be in Windy City have got to take a long, hard look at this man. This is unbelievable.
Alan Eppenstein is trying to get an interview over there. If I were Alan, I would get out of there.
Wait a minute, he's going after Alan now. My God. He's hitting everybody in sight here. Announcers, photographers, wrestlers, referees. Nobody is safe.
The man is dangerous. He's been banned in more states than any other wrestler in the history of this sport. And we're talking about some of the most dangerous wrestlers ever to wrestle. Abdullah the Butcher is right among them. It's not a pretty sight. I'm sure that Frank the Tank...
He's just kicked a photographer again. I cannot believe what I am seeing tonight.
The photographer has been kicked and beaten twice. The Beach Boys.
Scott, we all knew Abdullah's reputation going into this bout. We know what he's capable of, but he has outdone himself tonight. This is carnage.
There's no place for this in the ring. It's a rough sport, yes. You can expect to see some blood at times. Men are hitting each other, yes. But foreign objects coming out of a table for it, for goodness sake. Something has to be done, Mick. I'm sure something will. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Frank the Tank takes a measure of revenge against one Abdullah the Butcher.
I don't know what you do with Abdullah the Butcher. Do you fine the man? Money obviously doesn't mean anything to the man. He doesn't even know what money is.
No. The man eats raw chicken, for goodness sake. He catches them alive and eats them raw.
Security has yet to get the man out of the arena area.
I've never been to the Sudan, and I don't know much about the Sudanese people. But that is one wild man from the Sudan, and I'm not booking any travel accommodations to that part of the world, let me tell you.
He is absolutely uncontrollable. I don't think there's a word to describe Abdullah the Butcher.
We're going to go to replay and find out, maybe take a little bit closer action. I warn the queasy of heart, this may not be the time to look. There's Frank the Tank Melson. You saw him delivering another blow right to that bloodied area. Now, the amazing thing is he hasn't been disqualified yet. Until he hit the referee, he was not disqualified.
Eddie Sharkey putting up with an awful lot in there before he made what had to be a forced call after he was popped in the face.
There's Tony Montana, the manager for Abdullah the Butcher, and he's impervious to his own management. This is a wild man.
Look at this. He's hit. Oh, man.
That's too much. That's enough. Let's go to commercial.